Rowan Noah is always ready to jump. Bro came straight out of Jujutsu Kaisen. No words, all hands, baby. The moment Zoro stepped in, Gaban be like, oh, Rowan Noah, like, you finna box? I mean, I was born at night, not last night. King of Hell and Gear 5? Oh, Oda must be out of his damn mind. I'm too old for this. Now where's Ripley? This was probably the best way Oda could have actually played this. Base Luffy isn't stepping to Gaban. And on top of that, I feel like Luffy reminds me of Goku when he fight. He starts off in base and then just goes into his transformations. And clearly Luffy wasn't stepping to him. But Oda can't show Gear 5 actually losing. Gaban is Yonko level, guaranteed, because once bro's HAKI kicked in, Gear 5 and King of Hell mode came through. I mean, King of Hell, well, Zoro had his HAKI, so I'm assuming it's Advanced Conquerors, but, you know, manga artwork. Gaban was out here using Loki's ki and was just pistol whipping and with it, to the point where once he brought out his axe, bro basically went two-finger technique for your wife. Slash of 1,000 menstrual cycles. Not gonna lie, that was the first thing I thought of. Yeah. But before we dive even deeper into this chapter, I'm gonna need y'all to hit that like button and that subscribe button and join the notification gang. So it turns out 6% of the people who watch my content are actually subscribed. Now, the rest of y'all 94 out here lurking. Man, stop playing and push the damn button. Shit. Sorry, it's a fly. Got it. I'd show you, but, you know. Gaban was just out here playing. Tell me something different, and I'm crashing out. Gaban very much knew what the hell he was doing. And you can definitely tell that Gaban is dangerously strong, because once Zoro jumped in, depending on the strength level of the fighter that Zoro fights will depend on how many swords he actually uses. Like, think about it. Whenever he just thinks you light work and whatnot, he'll probably go for maybe one sword. If you okay, you kind of strong, but you know, he knows he can whoop you, he'll go for 2 swords. But the moment this guy's on smoke, he'll pull out on 3. And this is when I knew it was real serious, because he had his HAKI on. So I knew it wasn't even a game at this point. So the only thing I can sit there and tell you is that Gaban is built different. Gaban giving up was really just a play on the plot. I mean, plot convenience. I mean, they're going to bring it back when the situation gets dangerously hot. But to be honest, he definitely got what he wanted to know. And considering how that fight started, Gaban was out here tapping into that UI. Yeah, just like that. So he definitely knows that Luffy can protect the island under the assumption that Loki runs amok. But this exchange definitely spoke stories to me, because I think it really gives us a standard or some sort of baseline to prove how strong God's Knights actually are. I don't know who Rowan Noah gonna fight, but the only thing I can sit here and tell you is that it ain't gonna be no game. Gaban definitely has that poneglyph, because when he sat there and said, oh, when y'all done handling business here and whatnot, y'all come see me. Come on, man. You got that poneglyph. Stop playing. And also, I'm very much under the impression that Shank also has a copy of the lost poneglyph. Maybe. At this point, I'm just speculating. Gaban is definitely strong, because when they were ready to jump, they literally pulled up in their final forms. Now, it's a little hard to quantify, especially because it's artwork. I think we'd have a better idea once it's animated, whether Zoro went into its King of Hell mode. But I know when he goes King of Hell, he tends to have those flames around his swords. I think at this point, it could just be Advanced Conqueror's application or just basic HAKI, but Oda always with the ambiguous moves, ain't ya? But I'm gonna go with the assumption that it was Advanced Conqueror's HAKI because the way Gaban was moving with those axes straight after, bro was ready to split the planet in two. The only thing I can definitely say is that God's Knights are definitely dangerous and Gaban was out here toying with Luffy and Zoro. Yeah, they gonna get a power up in this arc. So we got 2 new editions of God's Knights actually pulling up. And of course, Shamrock's away on plot, of course. He gonna pull up when the situation gets real dire. But with the way things are moving, and especially with what he said at the end of the chapter, let's play a game, it's low-key giving me God Valley Part 2 vibes. But that's just me. So God's Knights are pretty much there to play a game, and well, as quoted by Shamrock, I guess this will be this century's version of God Valley. I can't remember the game that they played, but long story short, it was a bloodfest. Now, you could argue I'm looking a little too deep into this, and I mean, you might not be wrong, but I mean, it's One Piece. When is it fun not to speculate about this? It would be interesting to try and recreate those events, but I feel like the Rocks Pirates would be God's Knights in this version. This century's version of the Rocks Pirates are the Blackbeard Pirates. So I'll let that theory kind of marinate in the air a little bit. We got 2 extra God's Knights pirates pulling up, and they definitely look strong, and it makes me sit there and wonder, especially in regards to how the Straw Hats are actually going to combat God's Knights, because there's 9 of them, and yes, they're definitely the antagonists of this arc, which is fine, but it makes me also sit there and think, okay, I don't think every Straw Hat can hold their own against a God's Knight one-on-one. I mean, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, they nice. I think Robin might be okay depending on who she fights, but the lower tiers in regards to Frankie, Brook, Usopp, Chopper, they're gonna have some problems. But I mean, they are on Elbaf, and there are also powerful fighters on Elbaf. In addition, despite the fact that Gaban has left the story for now, I definitely think he'll be back, especially at a critical moment. But yeah, either way, this chapter was crazy work. I'm glad we got to see Gaban do something. He's definitely the strongest on the island, or at least one of the strongest. And it makes me sit there and think, of course Shanks knew that the Straw Hats were coming to Elbaf, but it makes me sit there and think, what does he actually want long term? Because I mean, he's going after the One Piece too, and he knows Luffy's going after it too. So Shamrock probably thinks he's stronger than Shanks. Now, whether he actually is or he isn't, that's a whole different question. Yeah, this arc's gonna be interesting. But yeah, seems like the ball's about to start rolling, man. We about to get some heat. But yeah, man, what did you think below? Did you like this chapter? Did you not like this chapter? Where do you think the story's going next? Either way, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll holler y'all later, man. Peace.